Welcome, deviant drivers, to another episode of A Drink with a Driver. Mercury, joined with Junkai.
Junkai. I have a labelless beer.
Does that mean it's bottled yourself?
I did not bottle it, nor did I brew it, but Slug and Kuroskai brewed this one.
That was going to be my next guess.
Yeah. I used to brew with them.
No, I remember.
Free child.
No, I remember brewing in the garage.
Yes, the old garage brew. And then there was the old remember when we we got into the sidewalk chalk? So the viewers don't know, but it was a random Thursday night.
As so many were.
Huh?
As so many were.
Yeah, Jack Daniel's honey. You, me, and Slug were hanging out in the garage, and we found some sidewalk chalk, and we had some artistic, how do I say, outbursts onto the concrete in the garage. And then we were like, well, we should probably just hide it because we don't want my girlfriend, wife now, at the time, to see what we drew all over the concrete floor. So we pulled her car over the wonderful, beautiful artwork. And we're not done yet. And then we painted her, not painted, we colored her tires purple and orange. And she's a Carolina fan. So she was not happy the next morning. She came in and woke me up and said I needed to clean her car before she left. I was hungover and could not clean the car. So she drove to work with these clown wheels. I don't know what happened that night, but Jack Daniel's honey is all I know on a Thursday night. I don't even remember if I went to work or not. I don't know, but so cheers to that that random tangent. So
while this is getting aired, you're gonna get beaten.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. So yeah, Slug and Kuroskai brewed a fantastic porter, and it's delicious. So
excellent. All right. Well,
ode to Team Denny beer.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So, well, here we are, our first weekend back in the car.
God, it's been so long for me.
It has. It feels like it's been a long time for me as well. I mean, it was good to get back in it and drive.
Dude, my nerves were all over the place.
Were you sweating as bad as I was by the end of it?
Yeah.
Dude, it was intense. It was intense. It's amazing what a week or two off will do to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I mean, it's been 6 weeks for me since I've driven.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last time I sat in a seat was at your house, and that was for what, 30 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, and that was yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was eager to get back, but yeah, the butterflies are they were fluttering, that's for sure. And it almost jacked me up. So it's all good though. So what's up?
So, well, let's start off. Let's hit the leaderboard. So let's see where we're at with started with GT3. So we just had Watkins Glen, which wraps up round 4 out of 6 of the GT3 World Competition. So as it stands right now, we have what is technically a 3-way tie between first. So these points are close. Victor, Zen, and Boat are all 3 tied at 41.
Yeah.
And then second or fourth, however we want to look at that.
Yeah.
is you at 37.
Yeah.
And then third or fifth is Dirksey with 34, who is tied with me for 34.
Yeah. And
So
then you have Solaire nipping on your heels,
yeah,
2 points
Solaire is only
behind.
2 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
So within the top, well, 6, 7, between the top 7 drivers are separated by less than 10 points.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It is
Two,
nuts. And we've
two
still got
tracks
2
left.
rounds to go.
Well, the tiebreaker right now goes to Vic with total overall. So obviously that's going to change, but nonetheless, and even fastest laps are sporadic over the board too.
They
And
are.
that little 1 point could make or break your entire season depending on how it lands.
Yeah, it's definitely close, and the next 2 races are going to be important for a whole lot of people and a whole lot of teams. And two pretty solid tracks we've been to several times, Suzuka and Spa, pretty familiar to everybody. Maybe not familiar in their cars, depending on how much practice they put in. But and they both can have weather.
Yeah.
Which we have not been to a track yet that could have weather. So we will wrap the season with possibility of weather and hard tires required. So,
Yep. GT4 to no surprise. Floody sitting on top.
yeah,
With
nobody's surprised by
62
that.
points. Huge Jar who missed this week with 49 points. And then Glovis with 41. And then representable fourth is Camzilla with 33. And we'll talk about that little battle to the end here in just a moment. And Anatole is only 1 point behind Cam with 32. He's had a good season.
GT4 has impressed me. There's been a whole lot of guys that have stepped it up, and you can tell they've put into practice and the dedication, and their points and their finishes are showing that.
Yeah. And then team points. If you want to go ahead with the team points.
Team points right now, again, same story as usual as Team Porsche with 113. However, I think that lead got minimized just a little bit by McLaren at 110 in second place. So I think that gap closed just a little bit. And then third is Team Aston Martin with 98. So we did good news. BMW came up 1 slot from this weekend's finishes. So
I think Mazda did as well.
Mazda did as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Good showing.
Overall was a good weekend. You know, it was Watkins Glen is always fun. I think that's one of the ones that I personally kind of like, you know, fairly well. I don't know.
I love Watkins Glen until Zen passes me with two laps left or 1 lap left. So yeah, we got a little bit of that back this weekend. It was, I don't want to say it was touch and go, but I threw my strategy out the window, which I typically never do. So
yeah, we'll talk about that. So actually let's talk about that right now because we developed a strategy, and we'll kind of walk everybody through that. You know, I don't really know what went wrong here or where we messed up, but after we made our first stint, everything was on time and as planned. And then all of a sudden, when we were supposed to pit, I believe it was 19 or something like that. I had a lot of fuel left and I had a lot of tire left.
Mm-hmm.
and you came around and you said Merc going +1.
Yep.
And I knew, I was like, yep, I'm with you. I agree. We did that as we came around again. You said +1. Okay. Yep, I agree. We did again. I think we did it three
Yeah, we
three
did it. We did it
times.
3 times. On the third time, I said, because I didn't want to keep like bogging. Not that we were bogging down the chat or the chat, but I said, Merc +1 again. I'm deviating from what we were supposed to be doing. You do your own thing. And then I didn't say anything else after that.
And
And
I
then
stayed
come
with you
around,
on that one. I
yeah, and then
stayed with
come
you on that.
right and come around the fourth time, I didn't say anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I went +1 again.
Yeah. So I was dropping a little ways back, not because of tire loss or anything, just because I had a little mess up somewhere, and I was just out of eye shot of you. I was behind you enough to be able to see you hit the corners, and then mostly like that. And I got to that last one, and I didn't see you, and I came around on that little chute before where you have to
Hmm.
decide if you're going to the pits or not,
Yep.
and I didn't see you, but you didn't say anything either. So I was like, he had to have gone on in. I'm dipping on in. So I go in, I hit the pit lane, I make the turn. As I turn, I see your car on the left side up against the wall running down the straightaway. And I was like, oh, he stayed. And I've got fuel and tire. I could make it another one. I was like, oh man, but too late then. I was committed. So went ahead and got my
Yeah.
mediums and went
I
on.
I had, we had planned on the mediums. So for us, it was going to be essentially hard, medium, medium, and start out with hards, which we did,
Mm-hmm.
and then just those mediums lasted longer, obviously because either temp or overcast or whatever the heck. But nonetheless, once I saw that, I was like, ooh, go back to the Vic challenge, which a lot of you guys don't know. Vic one day messaged me privately. He said, hey, when it comes down to fastest lap and that extra point, he's like, how do you rate that? Like, how do you decide? Like, do you go for the fastest lap, or do you just play it safe and run? And in typical, I usually just play it safe and just get to the finish, especially if I'm out front. I don't want to mess up for 1 point, because that has happened. But after he did that, the very next race, I heard him in the back of my head, just like, hey, fastest lap, fastest lap. So I did. I went for the fastest lap. And then for this race, I remember Zen last time running 144.6, which was like a fast lap for all of us to see that. And I was like, man, I want that fastest lap during the race. And I want that extra point. And it just Vic in my head, just get the fastest lap. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and get as much of the mediums as I could. My mediums were dead by the time I got in there. And I didn't know if softs were going to last or not. It was really just a gamble because I had not tested softs under that temperature. And for me, softs were only lasting 5 laps. So I got 8 or 9 laps off of softs. So, and that fastest lap.
Nice. Was your fastest lap faster than Zen's fastest lap?
It is faster than Zen's fastest lap, but he can beat it if he ever jumps on that wheel I brought to him. Yeah, I did beat it by, I think, 3/10 or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he ran, but yeah. So
Nice.
once Glovis goes to update the overall, that'll reign supreme for now until Boat drives with us, and then whatever, and just erase the damn leaderboard.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but I ran it during qualifying too, so I mean it put me out front, which was nice. But so how
Nice.
was your race overall? Like, you started what, 5th, 6th?
Yeah, something like that, decent start, everything was kind of, I was on hard, so I feel like a lot of guys started on hards, but just to get them out of the way. It was mostly just it was pretty traditional race, just kind of running in with people, nothing really significant for
I
the
don't think
first
there was no incident on the turn 1.
No, there
nor
wasn't any incident. I don't recall.
mm-mm.
I don't really hear anybody say anything. Everything was pretty smooth and normal right up until the safety car, and
Yeah.
safety car came out, and we did that. And
Did you struggle on hards at the beginning? I did.
yeah, yeah, they seemed slidier than I was used to,
That,
at least in
that's a
practice.
technical term, as I think Boat said today. Um, Slidey.
Yeah, slidey,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
were.
struggled, and I mean, I think it's a combination of two things. One, you just come off soft tires qualifying, trying to run your fastest lap possible, and then you jump on hards, which is
Cold.
obviously a huge difference, and then either temperature or whatever. But I could not find any grip. Um, Tex was behind me, and Vic was on my right in second. And I closed the door on him and got to the turn first. And then I saw that shiny ass McLaren behind me, and I had just images of a big boat behind me, and I like palpitations for a moment. I was like, "Is that freaking boat?" And then I saw the name, and I was like, "Oh, thank God!" But then at the same time, I've really never driven side by side with Tex, so I didn't know how it was going to go. He's very clean, respectful. I appreciate that. Matter of fact, he bumped me down the straight, which I would have done the same thing had it been reversed. Because I mean, for me, the first 5 laps, it's just get away from everybody else. I don't care what team you're on. We're gonna bump and get away from everybody, clean up, and then we can start racing when we don't have the whole pack on our butts. But yeah, he bumped me ahead, which I appreciated. I didn't realize he was on mediums. I assumed he was on hards. He was all over my butt. I hit a curb on one of the sharp turn switchbacks, and my whole car started turned sideways, and he was right on my butt. I didn't want to cause an incident, but he eventually got around me until about lap 9 when I saw he was on mediums. But still, it was fun to run with him.
Yeah,
He was clean, good guy.
there was a lot of clean racing.
Mhm.
I ran beside Victor for a
Yep.
long time, side by side. I mean, uh, it was fun. I mean, we were side by side through turns. I mean, it was almost like synchronized driving almost,
Yeah.
until my car washed out in the turn, and that was
Yep.
it. And he came out a little bit in front, but um yeah, it was all pretty clean up through the safety car and even after safety car. And I feel like everybody's strategy started taking effect in the second half of the race, and that's where you started seeing different things start happening. Everybody almost seemed to be about on the same kind of page for the first third, we'll say.
Hmm.
Pretty consistent what everybody was planning on doing. But
Yeah. Safety car was lap 13. Um, our car could not make it to lap 13.
no.
I wish it could have, but it would not make it there. Not without severe fuel saving, tire saving. Is there a hard compound? Because that's what we would have needed. But yeah, so I mean, it is what it is.
I
You
think the
know,
hards would have made it. We just the fuel was
fuel.
nowhere close.
There's no way. We would have lost way too many positions for that.
Yeah, it would have been like a fuel position 6 or something in order to get there, and you'd have been way back in the back. So
Yeah.
just wouldn't have been worth it. But
Nope.
but
So
yeah,
your race was pretty eventful, though. I mean, you were in the mix, fighting Besso, fighting Vic. There was one point, I know everyone saw it and whatever, but we were running 1 and 2, and I was like, because the same thing happened with Floody, and I was like, I've just because nobody, to my knowledge, memory serves, no team has gone 1-2.
I don't think so either.
I think we've had 1-1-3. I think that was Zen Besso.
Mm-hmm.
Back to first time Besso was in a full league,
Mm-hmm.
but we've never seen a 1-2. So I really want that 1-2, but I was hoping for it so bad. I was
I
so
know.
hoping for it, and I still kick myself for not telling you what I was trying to do with the pit, trying to extend it out and get on softs. But it is what it is. But still, go ahead. I mean, you battled Vic, which we saw was very, very clean. You guys side by side, and he was on a better compound than you, right? He was on softs.
Yeah, they were both. Vic and Besso both were on softs. And it started Vic started running me down, and we went at it for about a half a lap. He actually posted a good video clip on the Discord earlier yesterday, I believe. And it was a great video, and it was, I was on mediums, he was on softs, but we had a great run, totally clean, no contact at all. And everything went smooth. And then he kind of, because he was on those softs, he would just kind of ran away from me a little bit, and he pulled out there quite a bit. As he was doing that, Besso was closing his time, and we were on that last stint, and the the compression of all three of us started shrinking. I was catching Victor, and Besso was catching me. And I was like, okay, this is getting pretty. I was having to run quality laps as best I could on mediums, which were wearing out quick, even in the cold. And trying to defend off and know that, unless these guys make a mistake, I can't make a mistake. And I really didn't, other than just the car, as the tire started going, that front end started washing out. And it was very hard to make right-hand turns, because that left front, as everybody who raced this weekend knows, that left front is the first thing to go. And there's a lot of right-handed turns going at Watkins. And when you lose that left front, it just washes out, and you have that massive understeer. And so I started actually over throttling the turn to utilize breaking the rear end loose just enough to kick the car around and get me pointed in the direction I wanted to go. It was about the only way I could turn it towards the end. But I was losing massive amounts of time that way, huge amount of time. But I was still gaining on Vic, and Besso was still gaining on me. And
Besso covered like 8 seconds on you.
He did. He was on softs as well. He was covering quite a bit of track, quite a bit of time. And I was trying to just, run the clock out and get to the end in front of him. Close. That's it. It was so close. It came down to the last lap, and I could see Victor in front of me. Besso was behind me.
He was running out of fuel.
He was running out of fuel. Yeah. And I said, we're right there. I mean, almost. And yeah, it wasn't to be, I guess. But
yeah, I took, coming out of the pits, Vic sent a picture of it. I took, I think, 20% more fuel than he did coming out of the pits for that last stint. And I purposely put 2 extra laps of fuel in the car, because one, I didn't know if we would do the 32 or 33, and I was not getting burned on that again. So, and I was running consistent. I had minimal mistakes throughout that whole thing. So 33, I was like, is it possible? I don't know, but I'm not taking a chance. I'm taking the fuel. And on top of that, with the extra fuel, I wanted to run it as hard as I possibly could. I mean, that car accelerates well, and it does better running out 5th gear than jumping over to 6th gear. So I ran it till it was dead. And that was my whole point, was I didn't want to have to hold back. I didn't want to have to fuel save. Like, nope. I'm either getting away or I'm running someone down if I have to.
Was it Spa where you ran out of gas last season?
No, it was Catalunya.
Catalunya.
Yep, okay. Catalunya. Right as I don't know. I never considered it going that many laps, and I ran out of fuel just as I passed the finish line. So it was timed right for what I thought. But evidently we ran faster than I anticipated. So yeah, that's ingrained in my mind, man. I think Bad Rock learned a little something on this race too, with running out of fuel.
There was a couple, I think, I forget. Yeah, I know Bad Rock, I believe he ran out. And I believe there's somebody else that ran out. It may have been GT4 that ran out of gas right there at the pits. I can't remember who it was exactly.
I think it was Cam.
Was
Yeah,
it
I may be
Cam?
wrong, but I thought it was Camzilla. Yeah, because
It might
he
be.
and Floody were chit chatting back and forth in Discord today, and I think I caught that. But it was a fun race. I wanted that win because I've lost there twice, so it was
Well,
fun. Sorry, Zen. Jump in the wheel and you'll find out. But yeah, it was good seeing your little battles with those guys. Nismo did well. Tex again did well. I think he regretted starting out on the mediums for his strat. But again, it's the whole point. Live and learn.
live and learn, right? And there's still 2 more races, so there's a whole lot of racing to go, and the points are close. So, every incremental position you can get is going to make a big, massive difference in points in the finishing place of the season. So, like I say, I mean, the top 7 are separated by like 9 points. So, I mean, a win on any one of those places could drastically change that whole outcome. So, yeah, I mean, everybody just practice up, and it's gonna be fun.
Don't practice. We don't need you guys to practice.
Yeah.
That's why I downloaded Modern Warfare. Is if I can get a whole bunch of people just gaming on that, they're not practicing for GT7.
Good strategy. Yes.
Oh, wait, don't cut that. Cut that out.
I'll cut it. But
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, you did tell me to download that. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Camzilla said he would kill some zombitches with us as well.
Awesome. So we got a new league.
Hey, here's the thing. Me and Merc here used to work together. We would take our lunch at the same time, haul ass back to his place, get our food out, split screen, zombies. At Kino.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yep, exactly.
And it's been that ever since. So
yeah,
I like that just mindless grind. It helps just wash out the work crap that's in my head. But
an hour goes by like that. I mean,
dude, yeah.
You're like looking at it, you're like, oh man, we got to get going.
I know. Yeah, and those 3 a.m., 4 a.m. mornings.
Yeah.
For work. But we used to have some huge LAN parties too.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Hurricane LAN party once. We had like 8 guys over.
Yeah, 6 TVs. It was nuts.
That math doesn't check out. But
everybody didn't have their own TV. There was a couple split screens.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
It was every TV we could gather.
Dude, yeah, they were everywhere.
And this was before flat screens were so light like they are now, and you could just buy one for $200 for like a 70-inch. But I mean, they were all relatively heavy what they are now, and kind of awkward too, and not small sizes like you can buy them now like monitor size where you just pick them up dime a dozen. But so we had them like strategically placed in the living room, and it was just TVs. Whatever would hold a TV up was good to hold a TV.
That was the time of that was Modern Warfare 2. And that was the time of getting the codes out of the monster boxes and the Doritos.
And the Doritos. And the Mountain Dew. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Under the caps and all that. Showing our age.
Yeah.
There's
a couple people out there like, what?
What are they talking about?
What are they talking about? Doritos had some cool codes.
GT4.
GT4. Okay. So GT4. Yeah. So again, Floody, he took the win at Watkins Glen with fastest lap. And he is leading again. So their race, GT4, was pretty standard, I would say. I mean, nothing really. They had a late safety car. So
what was theirs?
It was like
20.
20 something, 20 something,
Yeah,
22 maybe, 21.
I don't think I caught it.
It was late in the day. And so they had a long stint of driving and pitting and driving, and everybody, the whole field got kind of really stretched out, and it was not a lot of incidents really
Yeah.
for
Quick
the beginning.
question. So watching the replay, your stream,
Mhm.
and from our race seemed like it was really, really dark.
Mm-hmm.
Watching their live stream didn't look as dark as ours. Was it though during the race?
It didn't appear to be in the stream, which is I was watching the same thing you were. But I believe it was the overcast.
No.
We had a pretty big overcast that, if you notice, about halfway through the GT3 race was coming in. It almost looked like it was going to rain.
There was like
If
a
rain could happen.
foggy haze. Like I checked the weather radar, even though before the race I checked the radar and there was nothing, but I didn't know how fast it progressed, whatever. But I checked to see if obviously it can't even rain there. So I don't know why I checked, but I still did check because I remember hitting the straight and I was like, God, it's overcast as hell. Like, is it going to rain? Never computed in my brain that it doesn't rain in New York at all. But it got really, really dark. And I was struggling to see the turns because the room I was playing in was extremely bright. Had another TV on behind me. So there's somewhat of a little glare on the TV.
Mhm.
And I'm like, did I map the high beams? Like I thought I had. So I'm like slowly trying to remember my buttons because I only use like 2 buttons the whole time. So I hit the one button and that changed my camera angle. And then I hit the one button. That was the e-brake. Note to self, don't use that one. The other one was hazard lights. And then I finally found the high beams. Huge difference, by the way. So map your headlights because I was struggling when it got that dark. I was struggling.
If only somebody were to make little caps that could be stickered and then labeled and color coded.
Oh, hold on. I got a text message. Hold on. Let me check this real quick. What's it say? I don't care. Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't have to guess.
I know. I have buttons. But the whole thing of matching the buttons across the 2 steering wheels and the buttons got to line up, like I just haven't even taken the time to remotely even consider like what buttons I want to use. But I'm out building a shed in the backyard, 13 by 13 with no plans. I'm like, whatever, let's just wing it. But the buttons, I'm like, I don't
Let's
even
wing
decide. So I haven't touched them. They're not labeled. I just look at them and I'm like,
He's
shit,
like,
here we go. Let's see which one this one does. I know that I was smart about putting the triangle as my hazards because it goes with the car. But the rest of them, I'm like, let's see what this one does. And it changed the camera angle. I'm like, all right, get back to where I need to be. What does this one do? Handbrake. Don't hit that really hard. And then I hit X and I was like, I don't know what this is gonna do. But because there's that one setting too where it's just flash the lights. It doesn't bring the high beams on the whole time. So
mine, I just have it flash.
you've got like 3D printed, it lights up, LEDs. Someone taps you on the shoulder and says, push this one.
No, see, look how simple it is. If you would look, all you have to do, and here, like we have, let me get it.
Yeah, no, I see all that.
It's one button.
No,
right
I
there.
get it's only one button,
and
but
it says high beam.
high beams. Yeah, I see that. But at the same time, you said that every steering wheel has got to have the same button mapped. Correct?
What does X, for instance, has got to do X on the other wheel?
Right. The other wheel doesn't have any button identifiers on it at all. They're all black. So I don't even know which one X is on that wheel.
Well, it came with a book.
I don't know where that book is. Who reads a book?
The book tells you which button does what.
I could probably use that. But here's the thing. I'll just download it. That's fine. When it's time. Right now, I'm intimidated by it. I'd rather go build this shed with no plans. I've already screwed it up about 2 times. So
I can't see anything wrong with that.
no, not at all. It's fine. We'll be fine. So GT4.
So GT4. So they had a pretty standard race, and and it was a back and forth between Cam and Floody. I mean, they were just, as they got closer to the end, they got to racing closer. It was so good. The last 3 laps, I dare say, was probably one of the best back and forth racing.
It was good. I watched it.
I've seen.
Yeah, I watched it. Cam was on his butt. Floody would get away. Cam would reel him back in again. Floody would get away. It
and
was
clean.
Yeah,
clean.
no, they were both very clean. Both very clean. And it's, I'm excited for Cam to see him coming up through the ranks. I'm also kind of scared by it because he's progressed really quickly. And I wanted him to beat Glovis, but now I need him to slow the hell down because I don't know where he's going to be 6 months from now, and I'm a little nervous by that.
Glovis must have got used to his wheel too, because he's settled in. His times are dropping. I don't think he was super happy about his car over the weekend, just from some of the audio I was listening to over the comms during the race. But
which car is he in? I don't remember.
I believe he's in a Mazda.
Mazda, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He's in a Mazda. So him and Preston are both in the Mazda. But he didn't seem super happy about the car. But I mean, his finishing positions have been pretty solid, and consistent. So he's getting used to that wheel. I think all those things that were aggravating him several months ago have kind of subsided a little bit, and he's getting settled in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I definitely, going back to the Cam and the Floody, that last turn heading to the finish line, like bumper to bumper, and Floody at first, and I could be wrong here, but I didn't go look at the saved. I was just looking at your stream. At first, I thought Cam just bumped him, and he did the right thing, and he backed off, let Floody take the win, and whatever happened. But it sounds like Floody actually caught the grass, and that little strip of grass right there. I mean, everyone tries to use as much track as possible. And the last 2 races at Watkins, I spin out there almost every single time. I catch the grass right there, right before your turn in, because I'm trying to get out just as much as I can. Thankfully, I stayed away from that corner. But Floody caught the grass, it looks like, and kind of the rear end got a little loose. And then I think Cam hit him or bumped him or grazed him, and just, added courteousness. But Cam, depending if there was room or not, I don't know. I didn't see the first person view, but it was fun to see. It was fun to see. I mean, you 3 and GT3 were within 3 seconds of each other coming across the finish line between you, Vic, and Besso. These two, white on rice, man. Like that was close. That was close. That was fun to see.
It was good. That whole, let's say his last probably 2 or 3 laps was pretty solid, but that last lap especially was back and forth. And I thought the same on the stream. I was watching the exact same stream you were, obviously. It looked like Cam hit him, and then he did the right thing. He kind of backed off and left Letty, and I think he even audibly said something. Yeah. I don't know if he actually did or not, because you're right. If you catch that grass and then start your turn in, the car just goes boop. I mean, right around.
No, I've done full 360s right there.
Yeah. If you're on the grass, you better get off before you make the turn in. Yeah,
no, you lose the rear quick on that. So, well, good job to everyone out there. That was a fun race at Watkins. I love Watkins. It's such a nice flow. It's fast. I love all the turns. There's some good passing areas. Good battles and all that. So that was good. How do you
BM
feel about Suzuka?
BMW. Well, before we get to Suzuka, BMW did not have a good day in GT4. We had
Mm,
an engine failure,
yeah,
and
yeah. Someone didn't.
Slug did not get to finish, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. After his PlayStation conked out on him, just for then, and I don't think it's dead. Uh, he went and donated plasma. Apparently, he makes like $900 a month donating plasma.
Seriously,
Yeah, you know how many steering wheels that is?
a lot.
Like 3.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
maybe
saw him later
one.
on that. Yeah, I saw him later on that day, and he was quite perturbed. But Guy had his best finish yet.
He did.
Uh, 8th place, I believe.
He
So
did. He did. So yeah. So we got Suzuka next. I like Suzuka. Um, I haven't driven Suzuka in this car. I assume it's going to be fairly okay.
so
We'll see.
I know Suzuka. I've raced it. Didn't we race it in Group 2 cars
Uh,
or something like
yeah,
that?
we did. It was raining
It
on that
was
one.
raining. So I haven't competitively raced on this track except for like the missions in the game. So I know the track, but I'm not comfortable with the track. I think out of all of the tracks that we've driven, it's probably my least knowledgeable about. I know Brands Hatch better than this.
I don't want to hear that.
It's true
Um,
though. It's true. And I did test today, and I'll
yeah,
say that our tires are garbage here. So
good.
so that's gonna be a fun strategy to work through. We'll figure it
Awesome.
out. I'm gonna stop talking right there though. I'm not gonna talk about, my times or anything. But you did well.
Victor's
Didn't you
scribbling
run
notes down
Suzuka?
right now.
Yeah, I know. Didn't you write Suzuka? Or didn't you race Suzuka for one of the
Yeah, manufacturer's cup.
yeah.
Yeah, I won it. I was in a
Oh, well then
Porsche.
what are we worried about? We're fine.
Well, I was in a Porsche. Wasn't
Oh
in a
shit.
BMW.
Hey, Zen, why don't we swap cars for the weekend? I didn't realize you were in the BMW. That sucks. Not the BMW, the Porsche. Cool.
Yeah, and that was my first. That was the first round too. I came right out of the first round and won it. Um,
So
and it
all our
actually
eggs
got
are
rain.
in your basket. So we're gonna need you to come through for Team BMW.
Okay. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, no pressure. No
No
pressure at all.
pressure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, not to throw favoritism towards anybody, but the way Vic practiced this track at the end of last season, because they ran it last season as their finale.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out there every little thing trying to find a tenth of a second. And he ran some wicked times in that McLaren.
Wasn't Suzuka our finale as well?
No.
I thought he won at Suzuka there with us.
Yeah, but he was in the other league.
He was, but he was running with us, and it was
He didn't run in our finale because he didn't want to
no.
mess us up. We were at Fuji.
Were we?
Yeah, we were at Fuji for our finale.
Okay.
They were at Suzuka.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we will see. And we've got plenty of practice time over the Thanksgiving break. So
After all the leftovers. Do you like Thanksgiving leftovers?
yeah.
What do you like the best of it? What are you thankful for?
As far as leftovers go,
I don't know, Thanksgiving, thankfulness.
Oh, as far as just in straight up thankfulness, yeah, I mean, typical, thankful about your family, thankful for your health, that's something you can't buy. So, as long as everybody's healthy, that's the most important thing, right?
We had Friendsgiving on Sunday, and my wife bought this banner, hung it up on the wall, and said, "Thankful for you, fuckers." It was a good time.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, it does check out. It does check out. So, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Anything?
Well, we're planning on going to Middleton Plantation for a lunch. So
Cool.
may not get a whole lot of leftovers because it's pretty nice place. They don't let you take a doggy bag with you when you leave. So
Eat it all there.
that's right. So but yeah, so it'll be an afternoon, like mid to late afternoon lunch. So
Cool. Yeah,
but
we're doing just family.
yeah, you're
Nothing too
cooking, no
big.
doubt, right?
Yeah, we're gonna fry. I'm gonna fry a turkey this year.
Try not to
I
burn the
got
house down.
no. I know how to do that stuff. I can't put buttons on a steering wheel, but I can fry a turkey. So we're gonna fry up a turkey, and then I've got a one turkey breast that I'm just gonna throw in the oven and roast that. So all the standard stuff, the stuffing, the cranberry, the mushrooms. I don't know if mushrooms are a normal thing for everybody, but
How do you do the mushrooms? Butter and garlic?
uh, you can't crowd the pan, so you got to go easy on them. But you do pretty big quarters or thirds, and you can't crowd the pan, and you let it's a process. The, the moisture comes out of the mushroom, then it gets soaked back up, and then the butter gets soaked up, and then when it gets dry again, you deglaze it with champagne, and that gets soaked up with all the juicy garlic, rosemary. Yeah, we fight over the mushrooms in the house. I usually hide them from my mother. She gets pissed off.
That
So
sounds good.
it'll be fun though. It'll be fun. It's gonna be quiet. It's gonna be small. Usually we have like 18 to 28, depending on who's in town. I think we only have 8 this year, which is gonna be. I'm gonna miss everybody else, but it's gonna be nice to have just a small little get together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, this weekend, I don't know, being that it is a holiday weekend, we'll see what kind of turnout we've got, but we do have the if it fits it ships challenge. So if you're
it's so fitting in that pun intended. It's so fitting that it falls on the busiest shopping weekend of the year.
I didn't even think about that.
Right. And the only reason I thought about that is because I had 4 freaking delivery trucks show up today. And it's just it falls right in line with the holidays to run that race. And if I'm available and there's a seat open without practice, I'm jumping in that bad boy. I'm gonna come join you guys because
Do it.
that's gonna be fun.
Do it. It's
I won't know
all
what buttons to push because nothing's labeled, but we'll be fine. I'm
it's
gonna
all
run
for
it.
fun.
Yeah, you know what? You should have made it where I don't know if you can do this. Can you make it where people have to run automatic?
I don't know. Never
Yeah, I don't
tried.
think that's. Yeah, I don't
I
know if
don't
that's a
think so.
setting or not. It'd be cool to go just to have everyone in automatic shipping vans.
Yeah. Well, you don't like the UPS driver banging gears?
I mean, I do. Yeah, I do. But at the same time, like, it's just different because most everyone drives manual. So being forced to drive automatic and pit stops, like, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
so get your van
Yeah.
and livery it up with whatever your preferred delivery company.
If I have time to make a livery, I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Someone made a Hot Wheels repair van today. That was
I
pretty sweet.
saw that.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think that
Very
Saito
original.
maybe
Is it
Preston.
Saito?
I don't remember. I could check. My phone's right here, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mazda MX-5. Where are they
Yep.
racing?
Mazda MX-5, I don't even know.
You came so prepared tonight. I mean, usually
Yeah, the Mazda League. Let's see where we're headed to with Mazda. You know,
Yeah, they are racing at Grand Valley. Ooh, that'll be fun.
that
Tops
will be
down,
fun.
wind blowing, the waves. It's a tough track too, though.
No, yeah.
Clearly, you haven't practiced because you don't even know where the hell you're racing.
No, no,
Oh,
no. I'm just
good
trying to
luck
get
to
through
you.
the week. Get through the week and get to the days off and the holiday days.
Yeah.
So,
You working tomorrow?
yeah.
Yeah. That's dumb. You should call in. Just take a half day. It's fine. All right. I'm
All right,
good.
guys. Well,
Doing my
we
beer.
you all set?
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Cheers to everyone. We're thankful for Discord. Thankful for you guys.
Thankful for
The
all of you
game's
guys.
the game's all right too on occasion. I think if the game were to cease tomorrow, I think the Discord would survive.
You know what? PD fixed the they fixed the glitch.
They did. I never used it though.
No stuffing for PD. And no dessert. No.
That's funny. I think I only have $100,000 in my account right now. I bought the old Indy or F1 car that was in there. And then I bought the new Skyline. So I'm broke.
Oh, you just bought the new one. Okay.
But I saw there might be another little glitchy thing on Reddit today. I need to look into that more, where you can make 200,000 in 7 minutes.
Ooh.
Or something like that. So
people will find it. You guys keep digging. When you find it, post it in the Discord so everybody can benefit. PD's trying to shut these things down because they are,
what
haters of
pisses me
fun.
off, and I'll end it with this. We have all these cars to collect, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with it taking a while to get to that point. Am I happy about what the price point is? No. What I hate though is that the collector level stops at 50.
Yeah.
Like,
why can't it go past 50?
I had collector, I don't know how many cars I had at that point, but it may be 60, 70, even if it was 100. Like, that's only a quarter of the amount of cars in the game, and it's like, all right, you're capped out. Like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah. Yeah, let me go to 200 or
right.
250.
Give me higher collector levels. And I know it's something stupid and petty, but you rank up and it's like, hey, collector 50.
Modern Warfare
10,000.
had this, and this is the way they did it back in the day. You had like 50, but then you had like, it was some weird thing, like you got a different symbol, each time you
well, even
prestige.
Yeah, exactly.
Prestige. That was it.
Well, that's exactly, we're going back to Modern Warfare now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you started with bronze, just like they do in the damn missions and all that crap. Start me at 50, or not 50. Bronze, get to 50. Now we're silver going to 50. Gold going to 50. Yeah. You add more cars. Ooh, now we got platinum. But no, whatever. I'm done.
Yeah.
Finish my beer.
It doesn't matter. It's like talking to a wall anyway. They're over there making an ambulance for the next update. So, or a school bus or an ice cream truck or some shit. Who knows?
I think we need limos. That's what we're missing. Limousines.
Limos from the 70s.
There we go, with hot tubs in the back.
Yeah. Pink ones.
Some Grand Theft Auto limos.
Yeah. Have an uber serious race. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We'll see you next time. And stay safe, have fun, and see you on the track.
Later. All I smell are crab cakes right now.
GT3.
Bloody's going to be mad about this.
Bloody's going to be mad about Giants? Why?
Yeah.
Is he not like the Giants?
Because the Giants suck this year, but the Commanders have lost to them twice. Sorry, not sorry. It's football though. You wouldn't understand.
No, I don't watch that foosball. I watch important foosball.
And like what? What's important foosball?
College.
It was on my burger.
Crab cake burger?
It was a crab cake on top of a burger.
All right. Okay.
It's going to be interesting because in most years, recently anyway, Clemson's always been the major favorite. So,
well, I mean, this
Mhm.
year, the way they're playing Clemson, I wouldn't bet on it either way, honestly. I mean,
Oh, we could bet on it if you want to.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't bet on them. I wouldn't. I there's no telling. You don't know what Clemson's going to show up this year. You don't eat meat.
Oh, it was impossible, Patty.
Fake burger. It was a
Yeah,
fake burger.
fake meat,
Ugh.
fake news.
That actually doesn't sound bad, actually. Like a big ass crab cake between two buns with a little bit of remoulade sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That actually. All
All
right. Give
get
me
this
3
rolling.
seconds of silence and we're gonna roll.